The disciples ask Jesus, what will be the sign? It's singular, it's not plural. And he begins this dialogue that says, these things are going to happen, but that's not the end, and this is going to happen, but that's just the birth pangs. It's really bringing the gospel to all the nations that he says, and then the end will come. Well, Joshua Project, that's the whole focus of the ministry, is unreached peoples. Our burden is to help individuals, churches, denominations, agencies to take the next step in helping the gospel to go to every people group. And for some that might mean just simply making a prayer commitment, or for some it might mean doing research. Maybe some would take that step of a short-term trip. We ought to assume that we're called to be involved directly and permanently, unless God somehow would direct us otherwise. The clear mandate of Scripture is to go, to make disciples of all the nations. There's been sort of a trend in recent years to think, well, you just send your money. Westerners are no longer really needing to go, and I quite strongly disagree with that. I think the Lord has given the North American church training and resources over the years that is tremendously valuable to the missions community around the world. Just sending money can lead to real unhealthy dependence. And unfortunately, there's many sad stories of how just sending funds have ruined churches rather than help them develop and grow and become self-sustaining. The calling is for us to be involved in missions in whatever way possible, whatever vocation we happen to be in. We can labor for many tremendous humanitarian things of, reducing crime and overcoming poverty and AIDS and civil unrest and all kinds of things. But ultimately what will bring that about is the return of Christ, that he will set all of those things right. And so at the heart of the Christian life is, if we love the King, we're going to labor to bring back the King. I think that's sort of a logical step, that if you really are closely tied to someone, you want to be with them. You don't hope for distance. And so if the Great Commission is the catalyst to bring back the King, then that would be our heart's labor.